So I'm 19 and last year my business went from zero to $120,000 in 1 year. Before that, I was completely average. I was average in school, dropped out. I was average in my bank account. I was average in my social circle. I was average in pretty much everything. And even though I felt like I was above average because I was doing self-improvement, so I was doing meditation, I was reading books, right? And so I felt like I was above average. But the results did not show that. Like the results in my bank account showed I had $0. My friend circle stayed the same and nothing really changed, right? Like I was average again. But last year, that actually changed because I built a real business that actually scaled to 6 figures. And no, it isn't SMMA, it isn't dropshipping, or it isn't some like random get rich quick scheme. It is a real business that actually gives value to people. So if you stick around today, I'll show you exactly how I was able to go from 0 to 120K with my business last year and actually stop being average. Now, there was nothing special about me or my situation. Like I was completely average back then, even when I was born. Like I wasn't born with like a business skill or like any unfair advantage. Like my parents weren't broke or anything like that, right? But they didn't give me like any big unfair advantages when I started, nor like did I take them, right? So I was completely average back then. Then I had this realization. Being average is a choice. Now I'm not saying that to sound cool or to like give this video a cool quote or anything like that, but it's a realization that I've only had like recently because I wasn't internalizing what actually made this all possible. But now I realize that it's a result of all of my choices to not be average. Now remember what I told you earlier, that self-improvement felt like I was being above average, but I wasn't actually seeing average results. Well, that was actually me being actually above average. The results just weren't showing yet. And so being average, it isn't really about results, but instead, being average is just a result of the daily actions that you take today. Like, for example, the amount of self improvement that you do to yourself, like acting more than consuming, choosing the right books to read. Like it's those little things in a day to day basis that actually determine who you are going to be, or if you are going to remain average or, well, exceptional. So, I'm not saying this because like I'm promising everyone will be above average by reading like one book or watching one Iman Gatsu video. No, I'm not saying that. Instead, I'm saying that because being average is actually a choice. And a lot of people, they don't even try out their choice or try out and stop being average because, well, they think that being average is a trait. But in reality, it is actually a choice. So I made a decision. So last year, I made a decision. I wanted to stop being average. And that's exactly what I did. Like I stopped like reading every single book that I could find and instead actually started taking action. And so what I did was I built a business after failing like 4 businesses before that. The other business that I built didn't really fail, but it didn't get me like 6 figures. But this business that I'm running right now, it got me 6 figures. So here's what I did exactly. So the first ever thing that I did is I found out exactly what I'm good at. Now, this does not mean that I'm going to do the most enjoyable thing I have right now. Like one of the things that I started is piano. So I knew that I was like decently good at piano, so I started posting piano videos as you can see. And that is not really monetizable. Like even pianists in concerts, they don't earn that much. So I quickly realized that and started to search for other skills that are monetizable and that I do enjoy. And so one of the skills that I came across was writing. So I did the most logical thing. I started a personal brand on X, right? Like if you're doing this, you can start on pretty much anywhere else. I started a personal brand on X and I started selling my services as a writer, right? Like I taught people how to write. Then eventually, people found value in that writing thing. So I scaled my business into other things because people are also liking other aspects of my business. Like they liked how I was getting clients so fast. So I taught people how to get clients. They liked how I was growing my brand in like a specific way. So I taught people how to grow their brands on X too. And so that's exactly what I did. So I evolved my brand from the basic stuff, then eventually went into the advanced stuff, like client acquisition, because I grew as a personal brand. And that's the business model that I'm going to be teaching you today. The business model that allows you to evolve not only as a business but also as a person, because it's the one business model that helped me in like every single thing in my life. With this business model, I was able to socialize more because I was able to take my friends on vacations. And on this business, I learned so many different things about like sales, marketing, content, like pretty much every single thing. Because as I grew as a person, the business also grew with me. So if you're wanting to start doing something like this, then I have a guide that you can click here. I don't know, it's like somewhere on the screen. You can click, check it out there. But anyways, going back to the video, I'm just here to remind you that starting a business like this, it's not exactly a like get rich quick scheme. Like I told you already, this is not what I was doing. And it's something that you're gonna have to work hard for, especially in the beginning. Like when I started out back then, I was posting content every single day. Like I was posting content even when I had like bad days or lazy days. And I know a lot of you guys have something like that. But I would want you to, like, if you do this, I would want you to do it every single day, no matter if you're tired, no matter if you're lazy, or no matter if you're not feeling it today. Because that's what it takes, like stop being average. But anyway, so I did that for a while. Like I posted content every single day. And for the first month, nothing really happened as expected. But on the second month, I actually grew really fast. Like on the second month, I already got my first client. And on the third month, I think I scaled to like $4,000 a month. On my fourth month, I was already on my way to like $10,000 a month. And on the fifth month, I hit that. So it was pretty fast, but it was a result of all of my actions before then. Like all of the daily grinding paid off, all of the content that I posted paid off, all of the messages that I've sent paid off, and all of the offers that I've made have paid off. So if you're going to do this, just know that it's not going to be like an A to Z thing. Like I love this business model more than anything else. And if I had to start over again, I would do the same exact thing. But I'm not saying that because it's easy, right? I'm saying that because it's genuinely enjoyable. And if you want to do something that evolves with you, not only as a business, but as a person as well, then this business model is for you. But if it's not, then you can click off this video right now. Now, when it comes to building this personal brand, the system that I use is actually pretty simple. First, I learned how to create valuable content that showcases your expertise. Then I built relationships with people who engage with that said content so I can get clients. Then I offered my services to them. Then I delivered results after they got them as clients. Then I used those results as case studies to attract more clients. It's literally that easy. Hopefully, the pictures that I showed made it more sense, but it's literally easy. So you create content, you attract people with that content, you offer something to those people, then deliver amazing results, then create case studies out of those people to get even more clients. And so what you become is basically like a case study production machine. So you get clients, you get results, then show how you got results, then get clients again, and repeat this entire cycle. And that's basically how my personal brand grew. Like when I got my first client on my second month, that's exactly what I did. Like I made a case study. Like I kept posting case studies about my results or my clients' results. And I kept growing basically because people were seeing, oh, this guy is getting results. Let's go to him. Like compared to the other guys who were like getting way more results than me, but weren't showing it. So they didn't show their competence basically, but I did that. And so that's how I got more clients. Then eventually I grew bigger than those guys who weren't showing their stuff. And so if you're aiming to build something like that, the documenting part and the showing everything part is much more important, right? Because it's going to show people what you do and how good you are at doing it, right? Like I showed exactly how good I was at like signing clients. So I documented it and people loved that. So people bought more into my services. And so looking back, I tried to look like at the best things that actually made me stop being average. And it's this one thing I'm about to tell you that completely changed everything for me. Because I read a book recently and it was called something like The Supervillain's Tool to Persuasion or something like that. I'm going to put it in the screen right now so you can see. But anyways, I read this book and it said something really great that like resonates with me. So if you had like quirks that you previously hid to people, then you need to show those quirks out there to the world. And that's exactly what I did, because back then I was trying to hide these quirks, like I tried to hide myself as being an introvert. So I forced myself to be an extrovert, right? But the moment I started leveraging my skill as an introvert, the moment I started earning more in my business and stopped being average, like back then, my conception of being average was that I had to be exceptional in every single thing. Like I would see people like Elon Musk or something, and they're doing all of these different things, like PayPal, SpaceX, all of these different things. And I thought to myself, to be exceptional, I also have to be like Elon and do everything that he does. But that's not really the case because Elon himself also has some qualities that make him average, you know? So I found out that being exceptional and not being average actually just comes down to being exceptionally good at what you are naturally good at. And like I said, one of the things that one of the quirks that I did have before was being an introvert. And so when I started building up my business, I leveraged being an introvert. Like I thought I had to hop on calls with every single person. But now, as an introvert, I don't like hopping calls with everyone. I structured my program in a way that focuses only hopping on calls with people who are qualified and people who I genuinely love talking to. So gone are the days where I talk to like 1,000 people on a single day, right? No, I only talk to the people who I genuinely believe I can help. And when I did that, my business actually started growing a lot because not only did I stop doing the things that I did not enjoy, but I also started doing the things that I did enjoy, and that made my business grow much more exponentially. Like an example, like I found out I was naturally good at writing things simply, but not necessarily writing things complex, like how everyone used to write before, they would add these huge paragraphs with like fancy words and fancy phrases and fancy analogies. Like I wasn't really good at that. So instead, what I did was I did the complete opposite and made my brand revolve around like simple writing. And so it worked because I stuck to what I'm actually good at and people saw that, like I did not conform to other people just because, well, other people do it, right? So I stayed true to my voice basically. And part of being what makes someone exceptional, you know, is sticking to your own quirks and sticking to your own game. Like do not play other people's games because you will never be exceptional in other people's games. You will just remain average because the only person that will be exceptional in other people's games is the person that is running it. So you can only be exceptional in your own game. And that starts by playing your own game, right? Like that starts with like building your business correctly, living life every day as how you want it to be, right? Like that's how you stop being average and start being exceptional because you're playing your own game. And above all, when you're in this journey of trying to stop being average and being like exceptional or something, then the biggest thing that you need to do is to just not quit. Remember when I told you earlier when I was like reading books, when I was meditating, when I was doing all of these different things, I eventually stopped doing those. Well, I was already on my path back then to like exceptional. Like if I just waited long enough, I know that I would have found out about this business model or something similar earlier, right? But I stopped because I wasn't consistent. So just don't quit. Now, I've been in this game for quite a while now, and a lot of the people that I started with, like genuinely talented people who were already on their way to being exceptional, just needed to not quit to get there, right? But unfortunately, a lot of them have quit. And so, if you're in this game where you're in the similar quest to stop being average and start being exceptional, then all you need to do is to find the right things that work for you and to not quit. Like, that's literally it, you know? And for me, that was just a matter of doing things that I loved for 1 year. And the result was like my business went from zero to $120,000. And I've helped like over 40 clients. I've gotten almost $200,000 in results and I've helped all of these people, right? Now, I'm not saying this to flex, like genuinely. I'm saying it instead because I know some of you that are watching this video are in the same complete spot that I was at last year. Like I was completely average. I knew I was not average, like something within me like is saying that I know I could be so much more, but the results just weren't showing that, right? So I know some of you guys are at that position right now. And so know this, it's going to get better. If you do not take action after this video, then it's probably not going to be better, right? I'm joking. Anyways, Partly not joking, but point is being, if you are not going to take action and actually start internalizing what makes you exceptional, then you are not going to get results, right? Like if you're going to stay in where you're at right now and do the same things that you are doing right now, then you are going to remain average. You know that, like that's just physics. You know, like that's just math. You know, like if you stay complete at where you're at right now and don't take action, then you're going to remain average. But if you're genuinely going to internalize that you are capable of so much more and actually take action towards that, then you are going to get results, right? And you know, at the end of the day, it's results that truly matter. So if you're watching this and you are thinking that you are average, just know that you can do more, right? If you're watching this video, you already probably have something in you that tells you that you are not average. So listen to that cell. Like listen to that one cell in your body that is telling you to go take action, to stop being average and to start getting results. Like listen to that cell because it's telling you the right things. So if there's one thing that I'm leaving you with this video is basically embrace your quirks. And we are all born with like quirks that we hated before, but now after realizing it can actually benefit us. So if you have those quirks, list them all down on like a sheet of paper somewhere. Like if you're an introvert, like list down all of those different things, right? And you know, you'll find out that some of those quirks can actually turn out to be things that actually benefit you. So just list those down, build a business or do whatever you want to do. Like get a piece of paper, write down all of your quirks. You know, like if you think that being an introvert is a quirk, then write that down. And after that, you are going to sit to yourself and think, how are these quirks going to help me? You know, like if you're an introvert and you hate sales calls, find out how you can get deals without calls, right? Or if you don't like talking to people, find out how you can talk to the right people so you can actually get better at talking to people. So to stop being average is just a matter of doing the right things that you are good at, right? Not doing the things that you are not good at. That's a different thing. And so that's pretty much it for this video, right? Hopefully you learned something new and I will be doing more of these videos in the future. So because I'm a YouTuber now, maybe like the video, subscribe, I don't know, you know, it's your choice really. But yeah, I'll be seeing you guys very soon, right? Talk soon.